Most people don't realize it. But after the age of 60, our bodies begin to fight a silent battle that very few talk about. It creeps in gradually, almost unnoticeably, until one day climbing stairs feels harder, lifting a grocery bag seems heavier, and your legs just don't feel as steady as they used to. It's not just about getting older, it's about something deeper happening inside your muscles. And what's even more shocking is that many of us have unknowingly been avoiding one of the most powerful allies in this battle simply because we were told it was unhealthy. I'm talking about cheese. Yes. The very food you've been told to limit because of fat and salt might actually hold the key to preserving your strength and independence. For decades, cheese has been unfairly blamed, labeled as indulgent and dangerous, especially for those of us over 60. But what if I told you that certain cheeses, not the ones you snack on during holidays, but specific kinds, have the power to rebuild aging muscles and counteract the gradual decline known as sarcopenia? I've spent years in the field of muscle health, working closely with adults navigating the later stages of life. And the more we study aging, the clearer it becomes that the loss of muscle isn't inevitable. It's preventable. It's even reversible with the right nutritional tools. And in this case, that tool might just be hiding in your refrigerator. You see, as we grow older, our muscles don't respond to protein the way they used to. This phenomenon is known as anabolic resistance. It means your body needs more protein, delivered more strategically, in order to trigger the same muscle-building signals it once did effortlessly in your youth. That's where specific cheeses come in. Not only are they rich in high-quality protein, but they also contain a crucial amino acid called leucine. Leucine acts like a switch. It turns on the muscle-building machinery inside your cells. A landmark study from an international group of researchers, known as the PROT Age Study Group, found that adults over 60 require at least 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal, including a minimum of 3 grams of leucine, to maintain and rebuild muscle effectively. Most people don't come anywhere close to that, especially during breakfast or light meals. But when you know what to eat and how to eat it, you can change everything. In this journey, I'm going to share with you 3 extraordinary cheeses that go beyond flavor. These aren't just tasty additions to your plate. They are functional, powerful tools for preserving your mobility, your confidence, and your quality of life. Most doctors and nutritionists are only now beginning to whisper their benefits. But today, I'm here to speak loud and clear. The truth is, these cheeses are not only safe for older adults, they are essential. So before you toss that block of cheese aside, thinking it's just an indulgence, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could reshape the way you eat, move, and live well into your 70s and beyond. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt weaker than you remember being just a few years ago? Like your body isn't keeping up with your spirit? That's not your imagination playing tricks on you. That's sarcopenia. It's the medical term for age-related muscle loss, and it begins to sneak into our lives as early as our 30s. By the time we reach our 60s, the decline can accelerate to the point where we lose up to 1% of our muscle mass each year. And this isn't just about looking lean or toned. This is about being able to catch yourself if you stumble. It's about lifting your grandchild without wincing. It's about walking across a parking lot without feeling out of breath or unstable. Muscle strength is the foundation of independence as we age. And yet, millions of older adults unknowingly neglect it. The good news is, we can do something about it. That's what excites me so much. I've seen it in my patients, and I've lived it in my own journey. Nutrition, especially the right kind of protein, has the power to change everything. But here's the catch. As we age, our muscles become less efficient at using the protein we eat. That's why eating a piece of grilled chicken here and there won't cut it anymore. Your body needs a steady, deliberate supply of high-quality protein, rich in the amino acids that actually stimulate muscle repair and growth. That's why cheese, when chosen carefully, becomes more than just a flavor on your plate. It becomes a daily tool in your muscle maintenance toolkit. Hard cheeses in particular, aged varieties like Swiss, Emmental, and others, undergo a natural transformation that makes their nutrients more bioavailable. This means your body can absorb and use the protein more effectively. Even more importantly, these cheeses are naturally high in leucine, that key amino acid I mentioned earlier. When consumed in the right amounts, leucine acts like a spark, igniting the process of muscle protein synthesis. And that's what helps you fight back against sarcopenia. But I'm not just talking about any cheese. This isn't about sprinkling shredded cheddar on nachos. It's about understanding which cheeses carry the right nutritional profile and how to incorporate them into your daily life in ways that are simple, satisfying, and safe for your heart and bones. We're not building a meal plan of indulgence. We're crafting a strategy for longevity. And this is where we begin to shift your relationship with food from something that fills your stomach to something that fuels your resilience. The first cheese I want to introduce to you is one that most Americans know by name, but few understand by nutrition: Swiss cheese. But not just any slice from the deli. I'll show you how to choose the right type, what makes it so effective, and how to use it in your meals to support muscle strength starting today. I still remember the first time I truly understood the power of Swiss cheese. Not as a food, but as a functional ally in muscle preservation. A patient of mine, Richard, in his late 60s, came to me frustrated. He had been walking every morning, lifting light weights, doing everything the books told him to do, yet he still felt weaker by the month. We looked at his diet and found the missing link. His meals lacked not just protein, but the kind of protein that aging muscles need. That's when we introduced Swiss cheese into his daily routine, and within weeks, he began to feel a shift not just in strength, but in energy, balance, and confidence. Let me tell you why. Swiss cheese is more than the holes and the mild flavor we associate with childhood sandwiches. It's a nutritional powerhouse when it comes to muscle rebuilding. One of its greatest strengths is its complete protein profile. That means every bite contains all the essential amino acids your body requires to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. After the age of 60, this becomes critical. Your body doesn't respond to protein as it once did, so the quality of that protein matters more than ever. Swiss cheese delivers that quality. But it doesn't stop at protein. It's rich in vitamin B12, a nutrient that often declines in older adults, and one that plays a vital role in energy metabolism. Without enough B12, your body struggles to convert food into usable energy, which leaves your muscles sluggish and your motivation low. With Swiss cheese, you not only support muscle repair, you also give your cells the fuel they need to keep going. Then there's calcium. We often think of calcium as a bone builder, which it is, but it's also directly involved in muscle contraction. Every time your muscle moves, whether lifting a coffee cup or pushing off from a chair, it relies on calcium to function properly. Swiss cheese provides a generous supply of this mineral, and it does so in a form your body can easily absorb. Even better, the aging process of Swiss cheese naturally reduces its lactose content, which makes it gentler on the digestive system. Many older adults avoid dairy because of bloating or discomfort. But Swiss cheese, thanks to its fermentation, becomes a safe and often enjoyable way to reintroduce dairy protein into your life. And what about fat? That's a fair concern. Swiss cheese contains a moderate level of fat, but in appropriate portions, say 1 to 2 ounces per day, it fits beautifully into a heart-conscious diet. That fat isn't just empty calories. It supports the production of hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, both of which play roles in maintaining muscle mass as we age. Now, how do you make Swiss cheese a part of your life without feeling like you're following a rigid plan? The beauty of this cheese is its versatility. Melt it into a turkey sandwich on whole grain bread. Slice it thin and toss it over a spinach salad. Pair it with whole grain crackers and a few almonds for an energizing snack. Or, One of my favorites, melt it gently over roasted vegetables, where it adds both flavor and function to your meal. What matters most is consistency. A small portion daily can tip the scale in your favor, providing that reliable stream of protein and micronutrients your body craves. And timing makes a difference too. After a light workout or walk, your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients. Including Swiss cheese in your post-activity snack gives your body exactly what it needs to begin the repair process. When paired with other nutrient-dense foods, like colorful vegetables and healthy fats, you're not just feeding your hunger, you're nourishing your longevity. This is not about quick fixes. It's about daily choices that add up. Swiss cheese, when understood and used wisely, becomes one of those choices. A small shift that carries powerful returns. And now that you know the strength it offers, let's talk about another cheese that brings something equally remarkable to the table, but from a different angle. This one is softer, milder, but just as mighty. There's a moment I often see in my patients when they realize they can still change the trajectory of their health. It's subtle, a glance of hope, a slight lift in their voice, a sense of control returning. One of the easiest ways to ignite that transformation starts with a cheese that many overlook, one that's smooth, gentle, and surprisingly powerful when it comes to muscle repair. I'm talking about mozzarella, not the processed kind that comes pre-shredded in plastic bags, but the fresh, tender mozzarella that melts effortlessly and delivers nutrition with a kind touch. Mozzarella may not carry the bold punch of hard-aged cheeses, but make no mistake, it carries its own kind of strength, especially for those of us over 60. What makes mozzarella so unique is its high concentration of whey protein. You may have heard of whey before, especially in the world of fitness, but here's why it matters even more as we age. Whey protein digests quickly. That means it floods your bloodstream with amino acids soon after eating, providing immediate fuel for your muscles. For older adults, whose bodies are less responsive to protein signals, this fast-acting nutrient source becomes a secret weapon. After a walk, a round of lightweight training, or even a physically tiring day, your muscles enter a window where they're most receptive to rebuilding. That's the moment mozzarella shines. Beyond protein, mozzarella offers another gift: low sodium. Many cheeses carry high salt content, which can be problematic for those managing blood pressure or heart concerns. Mozzarella, especially the fresh kind, comes in far below many of its counterparts, making it a heart-friendlier option. This balance of benefits, quick digestion, gentle flavor, and cardiovascular compatibility makes mozzarella a smart addition to a muscle-supportive diet. And here's another reason I recommend it so often: its digestibility. Fresh mozzarella retains more of its natural moisture and undergoes less aging and processing, which means it tends to be easier on the digestive system. For older adults who may have become sensitive to dairy over time, this makes mozzarella a gentle re-entry point. But let's make this real. How can you actually bring it into your day? One of my go-to breakfast suggestions is an omelet with fresh mozzarella, baby spinach, and a slice of whole grain toast. You get protein, fiber, and a rich blend of nutrients right from the start. At lunch, mozzarella slips easily into a grilled chicken wrap with leafy greens and a light spread of pesto. It adds flavor, creaminess, and structure to a well-balanced meal without heaviness. In the afternoon, when energy tends to dip, mozzarella makes an ideal snack. Pair it with a few raw vegetables or a handful of almonds, and you've got a steady stream of fuel to carry you through. And for dinner, nothing beats a warm plate of roasted vegetables topped with slices of melted mozzarella, drizzled with olive oil, and sprinkled with herbs. Simple, comforting, nourishing, all in one. If you're someone who's keeping an eye on fat intake or calories, mozzarella's lower fat content compared to aged cheeses becomes another advantage. You're still getting the high-quality protein without tipping your diet into excess. And let me emphasize one more time the timing. Because mozzarella is quickly absorbed, It's especially effective when consumed shortly after physical activity. A walk around the neighborhood, a session of gentle resistance bands, even time spent gardening, these are all moments where mozzarella can help your muscles recover and grow stronger. So yes, this soft white cheese may not have the bold presence of Swiss or the nuttiness of Emmental, but it brings its own set of gifts: speed, gentleness, and adaptability. In a world that often overlooks the quiet contributors, mozzarella reminds us that strength doesn't always need to shout. It just needs to show up, meal after meal, building you back from the inside out. Now let's turn to the final piece in this trio, a cheese that brings not only flavor, but a dense concentration of nutrients your aging muscles and bones desperately need. Every now and then, a food comes along that doesn't just nourish, it restores. That's what I've found in Emmental cheese. It's not the flashiest. In fact, many people walk right past it in the deli aisle, not realizing what they're missing. But for adults over 60, Emmental carries something rare, a powerful combination of bone and muscle, supporting nutrients delivered in a form your body can truly use. Think of Emmental as the quiet backbone in your nutrition strategy, one that works behind the scenes to keep you upright, balanced, and strong. What makes this cheese so special starts with its exceptional levels of bioavailable calcium and phosphorus. These aren't just minerals printed on a label. These are nutrients your body depends on every single day to keep your muscles firing and your bones resilient. As we age, our calcium needs increase, not just for preventing fractures, but for enabling movement itself. Calcium is what allows your muscles to contract with control and coordination. Without enough of it, even the simplest tasks become unsteady. Emmental offers this mineral in a highly absorbable form, thanks to its natural aging process. That same process also reduces its lactose content, making it easier on your stomach, an important detail if you've grown more sensitive to dairy over time. Phosphorus, often overshadowed by calcium, is just as vital. It works in tandem with calcium to build and maintain bone density, and it plays a critical role in how your cells produce and manage energy. Together, they ensure that both your skeletal structure and your muscular system stay synchronized. What I appreciate most about Emmental is how it fits into everyday meals without needing a big performance. Its texture is firm but smooth. Its flavor is mild, with just a hint of nuttiness, and it melts like a dream. That means you can easily layer it into casseroles, stir it into soups, or lay thin slices on a piece of whole grain toast for a satisfying, protein-rich snack. One of my favorite comfort meals involves thinly sliced potatoes, steamed vegetables, and a handful of grated Emmental, baked slowly until golden. It's not only nourishing, it's comforting. And that matters, because the foods that help us heal need to be the ones we actually enjoy. Emmental makes it easy. The key is to use it with intention. A serving of about 1 to 2 ounces delivers meaningful doses of calcium and protein without tipping the scales in fat or calories. It's nutrient-dense, which means a little goes a long way. That's especially important for those managing heart health or watching their weight. Timing and pairing also matter. I encourage my clients to include Emmental in meals spread throughout the day, so their bodies receive a continuous supply of muscle-supportive nutrients. Pairing it with foods rich in vitamin D like eggs or mushrooms, or getting some morning sun can further enhance calcium absorption. Think of it like building a network inside your body. The protein supports the fibers of your muscles. The calcium and phosphorus reinforce the bones those muscles attach to, and the enjoyment of eating well keeps your motivation alive. Emmental also allows those with mild lactose intolerance to re-engage with dairy safely. That alone can open new doors to getting the nutrients you need without the discomfort. So, if you felt like your diet was missing something but weren't sure what, this could be it. Emmental isn't a miracle, but it is a meaningful piece of the puzzle. And when combined with Swiss and mozzarella, it completes a trio that's hard to beat. These 3 cheeses, thoughtfully integrated into your day, can become a powerful nutritional foundation for maintaining strength, stability, and confidence as you move through your 60s, 70s, and beyond. But how do you bring them together in a way that's simple, sustainable, and satisfying? That's what we'll explore next. When we talk about staying strong after 60, it's not just about individual ingredients, it's about building a rhythm, a way of eating that becomes second nature. That's exactly what I help my patients do. And now, I want to help you do the same. Let's take these 3 cheeses, Swiss, mozzarella, and Emmental, and bring them into a daily flow that supports your muscles with purpose. You don't need to overhaul your diet or give up the foods you love. What you need is thoughtful structure. A few key changes that create big results over time. First, we need to think about how your body uses protein. After 60, your muscles don't respond to protein intake the way they used to. This is called anabolic resistance, and it means your body needs more frequent, high-quality protein throughout the day to maintain or build muscle. The old habit of eating a small breakfast, a big dinner, and skipping protein in between. That has to go. Instead, we aim for balance. Think about this as creating 3 solid protein moments each day. In the morning, start with an omelet filled with fresh mozzarella and sautéed vegetables. The fast-digesting whey protein in mozzarella kickstarts your muscle protein synthesis, giving your body what it needs after a long night of fasting. At lunch, go for something like a turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with Swiss cheese, crisp lettuce, and sliced tomato. You're getting not just protein, but a complete set of essential amino acids, along with vitamin B12 and calcium for muscle recovery and bone support. By dinner, it's time to bring in Emmental. Add it to a baked casserole with root vegetables and herbs, or melt it into a warm bowl of soup alongside lean protein. This steady stream of protein-rich meals helps ensure your muscles receive the building blocks they need consistently throughout the day. Don't forget the power of snacks. A few slices of Swiss cheese with a handful of almonds, a ball of mozzarella paired with cherry tomatoes, a thin slice of Emmental on whole grain toast. These are simple combinations that keep your muscles fueled without overloading your system. But here's what matters even more. Pairing these cheeses with other nutrient-rich foods, whole grains, fresh vegetables, healthy fats. When you combine cheese with fiber, antioxidants, and complex carbs, your body can digest and utilize nutrients more effectively. You're not just feeding your muscles, you're building a complete support system for your aging body. And for those worried about lactose sensitivity, let me reassure you, Swiss and Emmental, thanks to their aging, are naturally low in lactose. Mozzarella, especially the fresh kind, is gentle on the stomach. That means most people can enjoy these cheeses without discomfort. It's always important to listen to your body, of course. But for many, reintroducing these cheeses slowly and mindfully opens the door to better nutrition and improved physical function. This is not a diet, it's a way of living, a muscle-minded way of eating that brings pleasure and purpose together. Over the course of a few weeks, you might start to feel more steady on your feet, more capable in your movements, more energized in your mornings. That's not a coincidence. That's your body responding to the care you're giving it. Track your progress if you can. Pay attention to how you feel after meals, how your energy levels shift, how daily tasks become more manageable. These are the real indicators of progress. And of course, don't forget the role of movement. Nutrition is one side of the coin. Resistance-based exercise, whether it's bodyweight squats, light dumbbells, or resistance bands, activates the muscle fibers you're feeding. Aim for 2 to 3 sessions a week and use your cheese-rich meals strategically after workouts to accelerate recovery and growth. All of this comes together to form a powerful routine, one that supports not just your muscles, but your independence, your energy, your ability to live life on your own terms. Swiss, mozzarella, Emmental. 3 simple cheeses, 1 smart strategy, and a future that feels stronger, 1 meal at a time. Now that we've walked this path together from understanding the silent threat of muscle loss to discovering the unique powers of Swiss, mozzarella, and Emmental cheeses, to building a daily rhythm that turns nutrition into your ally, it's time for one final message. A message I share not just as a healthcare professional, but as someone who stood beside countless individuals fighting the same battles you might be facing right now. You do not have to accept weakness as your fate. You do not have to give up the strength, stability, and independence that make your life yours. You have tools, real, tangible tools that fit into your everyday life, starting with something as simple and comforting as a slice of cheese. This isn't a gimmick. This is biology. This is decades of nutritional science finally being used not to sell you promises, but to restore your strength with truth. I want you to look at your next meal not with guilt or confusion, but with clarity. You know now what to reach for. You understand what your muscles need and how to give it to them. You have the knowledge, and more importantly, the confidence to begin taking care of your body in a way that feels good and lasts. And if you take nothing else from all we've talked about, let it be this. Aging doesn't mean giving up. It means leaning in, learning more, and choosing what fuels your best years, not your weakest ones. So go ahead. Melt that slice of Swiss over roasted vegetables. Tuck mozzarella into your wrap. Bake a dish with Emmental that fills your kitchen with warmth and your body with strength. You are not too late. You are right on time. And your muscles? They're listening.